I welcome you to today's lesson. My name is Paul Williams Ofori. Today we have Science for Basic 5. We are looking at how to keep air clean in our environment. How to keep air clean in our environment. So today's lesson is about air and how to keep it clean. How do we keep air clean? We can't see air. Air is all over, but we can't see it. So how do we keep it clean? Yes, there is a way that we can keep air clean. Air is so important. Without air, you can't survive. Without air, I cannot survive. All living things depend on air. So we need to protect the air. We need to keep it clean. And how do we do that? That is what we are going to learn. Okay, so before we begin, let's look at the keywords. We have unclean. Unclean means not clean. So if something is not clean, we can say that thing is unclean. Waste. Waste is something that is no more useful. Something that is not needed again. Its usefulness is no more. So you can't use it again. We call those things as what? Waste. Okay. Burning. Burning. We burn wood. We burn papers. When you are burning things, what do you see? You see fire, you see flames, you see smoke. So burning. Okay. The next word is untarred. Untarred. Untarred means not tarred. Okay, so if a road is tarred, it means it is covered with something. But if it is not covered, we say it is what? Untarred. So tarred roads, you know them. Untarred roads too, you know them. Okay, so tarred and untarred, they are opposites. The next word is equipment. Equipment. Equipment, we are talking about necessary tools that are used for a specific work. Some tools, items that are so important for a particular work. So that is what equipment. Okay, please remember this word, we don't add s to it. We don't have equipment. It is always this. It ends with T. You don't add s to it. You don't have the plural form. You don't say equipments. Whether plural, you are talking about more or one, we use equipments. Okay? Now, we are going to look at the air. I explained to you that all living things, I mean human beings, animals, plants, we need air. We breathe air. Animals also breathe air. Plants also need air. They take in air. So all living things need air. So just imagine that there is no air. What do you think will happen? Are we going to still live? We will die. Okay. So when you talk of air, we have seen what air is. I explained to you in our previous lesson that air is a mixture of different gases. Now, the air that we breathe in can't be polluted. Can't be what? Polluted. So what is air pollution? So air pollution means contamination of air by harmful substances, making it unsafe or unhealthy. Air pollutants are substances that make air unsafe or unclean when they are released into the atmosphere. So we have air pollution and air pollutants. If you contaminate the air, if you do things that will make the air unhealthy, you make the air unclean, you make the air harmful for human use, we say you are what? You are polluting the air. You are polluting the air. So air pollution means contamination of air by harmful what? Substances. So if the air gets contaminated, by substances that are harmful, which also make the air unhealthy for use. We say, or we describe it as what? Air pollution. Now, air pollutants is just a substance that has the ability to pollute the air. Any substance that has the ability to make the air unclean is what? Air pollutants. Okay, so we've seen the two. Air pollutants causes air pollution. You should understand that air pollutants, they cause what? Air pollution. Okay. Now, causes of air pollution. What are some of the things that brings about air pollution? What causes air pollution? Number one, burning of bushes and waste materials causes air pollution. So if you look at this is what? Waste materials. We can see rubbers, we can see plastics, we can see weed, we can see different things here. All these are not needed again. They are waste. So if you burn these, look at the fire, the smoke goes into the atmosphere. If you breathe smoke, what do you think will happen? So this smoke will pollute the air, will make the air dirty or unclean and harmful as well. So if you are asked to mention some of the activities that causes what? Air pollution, you should know that burning of rubbish, waste materials can cause what? Air pollution. The next one that you should know is this: smoke from vehicles' exhaust pollutes the air. So if you look at this is car, this is another car, and we have smoke all over this place. Because of the smoke, if you are not careful, you will not even see that there is a car here. So if we have this, what do you think will happen to the air that we breathe? We are going to breathe in this smoke. This pollutes the air. This causes what? Air pollution. So smoke from cars' exhaust pollutes the air. Okay. The next one that you should also know is smoke from factories and industries. So look at this factory. Look at the smoke coming out. The smoke goes into the air to pollute the air. So we have seen smoke from the waste that are generated in our homes, workplaces, and these waste, when we burn them, the smoke goes into the air to pollute it. We have also seen smoke from cars, the car's exhaust, the smoke that comes out. This smoke pollutes the air. The next one is smoke from factories. It also pollutes air. Now look at this side. Dust from construction site and on-tar roads pollutes the air. So look at this construction site, the dust. If you live around, you always have health issues because the air will get polluted by the activities happening here. So dust from construction site and on-tar roads also leads to what? Air pollution. The fifth one, dust and smoke from mining and quarry sites cause air pollution. So if you look at this side, you can even tell from here, you can see that all this side is dusty. All this side is dusty. This quarry site, so this is a place where they work with rocks, stones, the soil, and this site is always dusty because of the nature of activities that happens over there. So if you live around this place, know that your health will be affected. So these activities release what? Dust into the air, making the air polluted. okay, or unsafe. The next one is agrochemicals used for spraying crops on farms send harmful gases into the atmosphere. So look at this picture. This is a modernized way of farming. You see, the tractor is here, but it is spraying what? Chemicals at the farm. These chemicals, if you are around, all the chemicals, you will inhale them because it is polluting what? The air. So agrochemicals, the use of chemicals for agricultural purposes, too much of it, the effect is that it pollutes the air. Now, we have seen activities, human activities, that pollute the air. If I ask you to give 5 examples, I believe you can give 5 examples of human activities that pollute the air. We have seen agrochemicals that are used for farming. We have also seen dust that are released into the air as a result of mining and quarry site activities. We have also seen dust from construction sites and on tarred road. We have seen smoke from factories. We have also seen smoke from vehicles, and the last one to smoke from burning of what? Waste materials. Okay, so these are some of the things we do to pollute the air. And if you are a victim, if you do any of the things that we mentioned, you have to stop, because the air that you pollute is the same air that you breathe in. You are killing yourself if you do any of these. And some of them too, they need to be done accordingly. They need to manage how they do their things, so that even if the smoke has to come out, it will be controlled. Okay. Now we are looking at how to prevent or control air pollution in our environment. We don't want our environment to be polluted. What should we do? 1. Planting of trees and grass, that is afforestation, is one of the ways to keep the air clean or prevent air pollution. So if you have grass and we have plants all over, it will prevent what? Air pollution. Places that we have grasses, that place you don't see dust. Places that we have trees, you don't see dust. So if we don't want our environment to be dusty, we need to plant what? Grasses and what? Trees. That is afforestation. The next one is that mining and stone quarry activities must be controlled and regulated to reduce air pollution. So those are the quarry sites and those are the mining sites. All the activities need to be what? Controlled, needs to be managed in a way that will reduce the amount of dust released into the air. Okay. The next one is construction companies must employ modern technologies to reduce or control the amount of dust and smoke that are released into the air during construction of roads and building. So those who build roads, So we are looking at how to prevent or control air pollution in our environment. We have seen causes of air pollution, and now we are going to see how to prevent or control air pollution. Planting of trees and grass, that is afforestation, is one of the ways to keep the air clean or prevent air pollution. So if you plant trees, if you have grasses, we plant grasses, what will happen is that there will be no dust. You see places that we have grasses, you don't see dust there. Places that we have trees, you don't see dust there. So for us to get our environment free from dust, we need to plant trees and grasses. That is what we call afforestation, planting of trees. Okay. The next one is mining and stone quarry activities must be controlled and regulated to reduce air pollution. So mining sites and quarry sites, the activities that take place there, they need to be controlled, they need to be managed. The nature of their job, by all means, there will be an amount of dust that will go into the air, but it needs to be regulated, it needs to be managed. Okay. If you do that, it means we are controlling air pollution. The next one is that construction companies must employ modern technologies to reduce or control the amount of dust and smoke that are released into the air during construction of roads and buildings. So if you go to places where they are constructing roads, you see the kind of methods that they use, the kind of equipment that they use. These things always create or generate dust, and it's spread all over. So if you are living closer to the roadside or closer to the road, always your house will be dirty, will be dusty. Your house will be full of dust. You can't even breathe. So those who are into construction business, they need to do this. They need to use state-of-the-art equipment. I mean modern equipment to do their work. Also reduce the amount of dust that goes into the air. Okay. The next one, excessive use of agrochemicals must be avoided. If you use too much chemicals for farming, it has the effects. It has its effects. And what we are saying is that this too much application of chemicals needs to be reduced. If we cannot stop it, we need to reduce it. Okay. Avoid frequent and uncontrolled burning of bushes and waste materials. So we generate waste, solid waste, in our various schools, in our houses and other places. Sometimes we burn this waste, and for us not to pollute the environment, when we are burning, we need to do it in a controlled manner so that it will not pollute the air. The next one, number 6, roads that are not tiled should be watered daily to reduce dust. So if the road is not tiled, you know what happens when cars move on the road. Always you see dust coming. So for us to prevent this, they need to water the road every day to reduce the dust. If you do this, you will keep the air clean. Number 7, factories and industries must be sited far away from residential areas. So residential areas are areas where people have their houses, where people live. These places, we don't site manufacturing companies there. So these companies need to be sited far away from residential areas, so that the smoke and other waste, other pollution that they cause will not affect the people. If you do this, you will reduce or you prevent air pollution. The next one is the public must be educated on the causes, effects, and how to prevent air pollution. We have learned about air pollution, how to protect or prevent air pollution. So, if the public is educated on air pollution, things that brings about air pollution, and how we can prevent it, people will do things right. People will do things that will not pollute the environment. So public education means we're educating the people in a community, the people in a town, the people in an area, the people in a country about air pollution, things that brings about air pollution, and things that we can do to prevent air pollution. Okay, so these are the things I expect you to write about if you are asked to write about ways to prevent air pollution. These are the points that I expect you to write. So, effects of air pollution on the environment. So let's say your environment is polluted. What are the effects? What are the effects? 1. Air pollution can cause health problems like asthma, lung disorders. So, if our environment is polluted, it can what? It can cause health problems like asthma and lung disorder. So you see, if the air is polluted, it has direct effects on our health. That is why we need to always ensure that you do things that will not pollute the air. The next one is that air pollution can contribute to global warming. Global warming, we have heard about global warming. The temperature on the surface of Earth, if it keeps increasing, the average temperature keeps what? Increasing. The effects that we are going to face, there are many. So we need to do things that will not cause or contribute to global warming. And air pollution is one of the things that contribute to global warming. So we should always ensure that the air is not polluted. Okay. Air pollutants can react with rainwater to form acid rain. We have air pollutants. So if these air pollutants come in contact with rainwater, they can form some reactions. Some reactions can take place which will lead to acid rain. If you use it, you have serious effects. Another effect is this: air pollution can damage the ozone layer. The ozone layer. You see where the sun is. The sun doesn't come directly to the earth. There are a lot of layers that prevent the heat from the sun. So if these layers are destroyed, or if these layers are attacked by air pollutants, then it means we are going to suffer. Okay. So in summary, what have you learned? We have learned that air pollution is the presence of harmful substance in the air, making it unsafe or unhealthy. Air pollutants are substances that make air unsafe or unclean when they are released into the atmosphere. We have learned about air. We have seen what air pollution is, what air pollutants are, what air pollutant is. Okay, if we don't want our environment to be polluted, if you don't want the air to be polluted, what are the things that we are supposed to do? And what are some of the things that also pollute the environment? These are the things that we have seen, and the effects of air pollution on human beings. So these are the areas that we have covered under air pollution. If you have questions on any of these, I expect that you get the answer right. Think about the things happening in your environment, how these things have effects on the air, and what we can do to prevent that thing. Because if the air is polluted, it means our health will be affected. Okay, so we have exercises here. Exercise 1, exercise 2, exercise 3, 4, home assignment 1, home assignment 2. So this is what I expect you to do. Take your time, read the book, answer all the questions for me. We have Asante tree, we have Ekuapim tree. It is not only science that we have. Asante tree, Ekuapim tree, they are all there. If you need copies, just reach out to us. Your parents, your teachers are there. If you don't understand anything, go to them. You can also reach out to me. I'll help you. My name is Paul William Sofori. Thank you.